For over 20 years, I've dedicated my life to bringing you the very best selling, marketing, and business building strategies to keep your business thriving. Get ready to experience the success you've been searching for. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show, episode 34. 4 weeks ago, I was together with 4,000 of our clients in San Diego at our summit and about 50,000 people around the world on our live cast. And I did something that I would say took a level of vulnerability on my part. I got up in front of the group and I said, I've been paying, and look, I'm no Nostradamus. Let's be really clear on this. I've been in this industry for 27 years. The trends to me are pretty obvious. The things that are impacting your income, your career, to me are very obvious. And this is the first time I've ever done where I've said, hey, look, these are 7 things I'm seeing. Sure, in 1998, I was like, you need to start a team. It's a no-brainer, right? It was just obvious back then. I could even go to 2006 or 7 when we were watching the writing on the wall and I was getting clients on conference calls and saying, let me introduce you to REO people. Let's start getting assets. And they're like, REOs? What are you talking about? It's the end of 2006. It was just obvious. You knew it was coming. I paid attention to 2011 or 2009 with YouTube and brought in Gary Vaynerchuk a million years ago in front of all my clients and really started pounding on YouTube and the power of video. 2011 with reviews with Zillow. 2012 Facebook ads. I'm no Nostradamus. I just pay attention to what's going on. So this is going to be an interesting video. I really hope you're paying attention because I see 7 obvious things that are coming down the pike. Some are really happening right now. Some are going to be out maybe 3, 4, 5 years. And as someone that's paying attention to my world, especially for my coaching clients, I want you to listen to the 7 trends and then start to think, how can I act on these? What are the positions I need? What do I need to be hedging? What do I need to be doing now to be ready and in position? So with that said, I'm going to be a little vulnerable. Here we go. Tom Ferry Show, no editing, ready to rock. The 7 trends. Number 1 is commission compression. If you pay attention around the world, whether I'm in Sydney or anywhere in Australia, New Zealand, all throughout Europe, throughout the Middle East, London, my goodness, commissions are shrinking everywhere. And in many cases, they're already down to ridiculously low numbers in comparison to, say, the US and Canada. And yet I have a whole bunch of agents that are trying to figure this game out. Here's my hallucination. Commissions are going to continue to get smaller for agents that don't have a measurable degree of separation, of value to the consumer that absolutely is different, is special, and proves that you can do it better, faster, more efficiently, and make them more money. I actually said to everybody at the summit, I believe commissions are going to go the way of doctors. Remember when being a doctor was a big deal? If you became a doctor, you were because you were going to become a millionaire. And then what happened, right? HMOs, PPOs, all the different things that are going on. Don't even get me started on the political stuff. You know what's happening. If you look at the trends today and the studies today amongst doctors, half are saying, hey, it's okay, we're okay working 3 times as hard for basically half the pay because they're just happy to have the work. And the other half are trying to get out, or in many cases, they're creating private practices where they're blowing off, if you will, all the insurance and saying, I'm good at what I do, I've got a track record, I've got proprietary solutions, I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to charge and I'm going to charge. And that's what's going to happen in the real estate industry. It is going to become extreme, the rich and the rest. It's going to become the discounters become the new norm, and the people that create massive value and are willing to do things differently and be exceptional, they're the ones who are going to charge what they want to charge. I actually said in front of all these people at the summit, I believe you should go out and do a test where you put 7% commission on every listing appointment you go on for the next 30, 40, 50 days and just watch how the sellers react. The sellers have been conditioned to a 4 to 6% typical commission. And at least if you write down 7, guess what's going to happen? They're going to look at you and go, 7? Everyone else is joining 4 to 6. Why are you doing that? And now the door is open for you to articulate what you do differently, what you do special. You're waking up the consumer from the coma and you're beginning to say, I declare I'm going to be exceptional. So the very first trend is commission compression. And my hallucination is in the next 45 years, it is going to be 60% of the industry are just discounters because they haven't been able to figure it out that the consumers are saying, your brand is blue, yours is green, yours is red, yours is white. We don't care. We just want to sell our house. Technology has solved almost everything except for the agent and the lender if I need a loan. So why you and what are you going to do different? The very first trend is commission compression. The next one, kind of speaking to that, I believe the irrelevant agent is going to get squeezed out of the market. Now, I talk about it all the time, 87% failure rate in real estate, and yet they're still coming in droves. I believe that whether it's because of reviews or the ability to do search on every agent and their productivity, that consumers are going to get to the point where they're no longer just working with a friend because they're a friend, that instead they're doing extensive background research on every real estate professional that they choose to work with. It's just the natural way of the universe, my friends. Remember when a movie sucked and no one knew until you saw it because every ad said, unbelievable. But now today, when a movie is bad, people are tweeting, people are texting, people are talking about it. It's out there in the public. You can't hide. If you suck at what you do, you can't hide. So the irrelevant agent is going to get squeezed from the market, and I believe that's a really good thing if your heart's in the right place for the consumer, the person that's making the biggest decision of their life to buy their first house or to sell a home or buy an investment property. They deserve better, and the irrelevant agents are going to get squeezed. And I know you're watching this going, yeah, baby. Look at number 3, total team domination. From all of our research, there's anywhere between 35 to 50,000 teams today in real estate. And I know that every big brokerage is paying attention to it. And everybody is, because the teams are simply outproducing individuals at such a rapid pace. Now, there's a lot of work to be done, and you're going to see in number 4. I'm actually going to speak some life into the 3 different types of teams we're seeing today. But let's just start with this. You ready? If you're an artist and you know you're an artist, the reality is every artist needs a good operator, right? So if you're unbelievable at meeting with customers, if you're unbelievable at service and bringing value and negotiations and showing houses and listing properties, you're probably no bueno at the organization, the administration, the systems, the process. You probably don't lay in bed at night and go, oh, baby, look at this Excel spreadsheet. You probably don't do that, and yet every business needs an operator. Every artist needs an operator. So what we're seeing now is teams are just taking over, and it's normally because a rock star says, I'm going to start bringing some operators and then some other agents on my team to serve customers at a higher level. Now, are there a lot of mistakes going on? 1,000,000%, but that could be an entire Tom Ferry show on its own. Artists hiring artists, never getting an operator, low producers banding together to create more low production. Don't even get me started. The mistakes are endless. My prediction, though, is in the next 4 to 5 years, we'll have 100,000 teams, 100,000 teams, and these men and women will be completely dominating the industry, which leads me to trend number 4. Number 4 is teams are going to be for sale. Just like we went through back in the days when Century 21 and Coldwell Banker and ERA and everybody else was acquired and then ultimately became Realogy as we know it. Big shout out to them. Zip being one of their recent acquisitions, which I thought was genius for a lot of reasons. I believe, and we're already seeing it, teams are going to be sold just like independents used to be acquired or brokerages would be acquired. But the key is, as I say that, and you start kind of in your mind saying, what's my future look like if I'm a single agent? Can I be acquired? Well, let's break it down. You ready? Everybody obviously is going to want to go to C. So let's go to C first. You ready? The people that are going to be saleable are the team builders, the business builders, right? The people that have proprietary solutions. If you can't say, this is how we do it around here, this is our process, this is the way we organize it, this is the way we do lead generation, this is the way we do presentations, then you don't have an operationalized, institutionalized proprietary way of doing business. When you do, you have a saleable asset. The more proprietary, the more it becomes a saleable asset. So proprietary solutions, systems, processes, training, lead generation. You've all heard the phrase before, turnkey. When the business is turnkey, we're already seeing agent teams being valued at 2 to 3 times net earnings. And I got to tell you, it's going to happen. It's going to be exciting. At a certain point, the big dogs and some of the smaller dogs that want to grow faster are going to start acquiring these teams and taking in that proprietary information, that way of doing business, and having it infiltrate their entire business and turn into a massively high-producing, profitable, extraordinary customer service business. So this is a big trend, but most teams today, and this is going to make a few people mad, I know, I'm sorry, but hey, it is what it is. Most teams today are the rock star with minions. You know what I'm talking about? The rock star, but they got minions everywhere. And what happens, right? Instead of saying, I'm going to hire really talented people, extraordinary people that are going to up the game, improve service, create an extraordinary level of business, what happens is the rockstar agent hires smaller and smaller and smaller. Remember from many episodes back, the rockstar agent hires smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and then they wonder why their customer service or their marketing and lead generation isn't working. These businesses, they may sell. I mean, someone may acquire them, but we're talking, hey, I'll give you $5,000 and 25% referral fees for the rest of your life, because the rock star on their own isn't worth a lot, because the second the rock star is out, the business crumbles. It's about building a team that outproduces you. Like we talked about in last week's episode, it's about a team and a system and a process that outproduces you. That's when you have a saleable asset. So rock stars with the minions, not what we're talking about. And then the other one is just the couple who hires an assistant, and they have the same challenge. It's, the husband and wife that, God bless them, they're running an amazing business. They're helping lots of customers. They got one assistant, but when they go away, everything shuts down, or worse, when they go away on vacation, they work the entire time they're on vacation. There's no value in that. I would never buy that business, because it's the Mack truck theory. If something happens and they die, I have nothing, no asset. I've got a database that I could acquire or get through Facebook. So it's not that big of a deal. So as you're sitting here and you're watching this, you need to be asking yourself, if I'm building a saleable asset, if I'm building a team, the game is a team that outproduces me with a proprietary way that I do it, which could even mean you might end up building a CRM, you might build a better mousetrap for your marketing and lead generation. Proprietary is the game changer. So I know that's a big trend for a lot of people to be paying attention to, especially for some of my big CEOs that are watching. Thank you. Number 5, if you thought that was interesting, look at number 5, big whale hunting. So when I made this comment at the summit, I watched a lot of our clients start buzzing, and coaches were getting, texts and, emailed immediately. I said to the group, there was 386,000 single-family residences purchased from 2011 to say, last week. And the owners of these, the Blackstones and all these other big monster organizations, funds, etc., I said to the group, you have to understand that they're going to turn those properties. At a certain point, they're in the money business. So money, I buy here, I sell here. Nobody knows where that perfect moment is, but many of my coaches and a lot of our coaches council, we're in dialogue with agents and clients in their own businesses around the country that are already saying, hey, guess what? We've hit that mark, and we're now seeing these people start selling off these assets. So what I said to the group was, it's no different from the REO days. If you were able to go and talk to an institution and make a compelling presentation as to how you do it, what you do, and you're able to get in on those contacts, there's going to be opportunity, because we know that the number is way bigger than this. That was just since 2011. What happened in 08, 09, 2010? So we know there's a tremendous number of assets that are going to be hitting the market, and we both know there's not enough inventory. There's just simply not enough inventory. Who's going to crack the code? Number 6 is the rise of the agent entrepreneur. Now, there's so much to talk about on this. I know it's a long Tom Ferry show, so I really appreciate you hanging in, because you're going to want to hear number 7, because it's the most important trend. What we're seeing today is, whatever number you're looking at, let's just say it's 25% of the GDP of the US is in housing, right? So that's get a mortgage, that's buy a house, that's get a loan, it's, fix it up, it's, put furniture inside it, yada, yada, right? So this enormous industry. And the mistake that we see agents making is they find a deal, an opportunity in the marketplace, and they're so excited to put it in the MLS and sell it in 2 seconds with 15 offers, instead of realizing you sit in the most unique position, in my opinion, around the world. You are the hub of your community. If you're paying attention, it's not just the 3% or the 7%, right, commission you could be earning. It's the fact that you could be earning way more than that if you're paying attention to what's happening. So we're seeing this rise of this entrepreneurial spirit where agents are beginning to pay attention. And I'm going to say this, you ready? They're not just working for commission anymore. They're now saying, that's a deal, I'm going to buy it. That's a deal, I'm going to bring in my own investors. All, of course, always on the up and up with consumers, always, always, always. Everybody knows what's going on. I mean, we're not stupid here, people, but everybody knows, and they're buying it themselves, or they're selling it to a builder, putting their commission into the deal, and then making more on the back end with a new listing and a bigger price. So agents are beginning to realize that they're the hub and they're taking advantage of it. And by the way, this is not like shout out to, all the $1 million agents, right, on the TV shows that are paying attention and maximizing their brand. And most of them are doing a beautiful job. Some no bueno. But the people that are paying attention are realizing you are the hub of your community in the ecosystem called real estate. And you're thinking about, what CRM should I use? I want to smack you in the face. You are in the most unique position on the planet. Take advantage of it, and I mean take advantage in a good way. Serve more customers, do the right thing. When you find deals, get your own investors, right? Don't just put it inside the MLS and somebody else gets the upside on that. Those are deals that you should be taking advantage of. So a lot. We could spend days on that one, but we got to get to number 7, because number seven is the most important one. So I hope you're paying attention. If you sent this to one of your friends, here it is. Ready? The single hottest trend the next 5 years, time and money. I mean, this trend is just off the charts, and there's going to be little hiccups like the stock market and all that kind of stuff, but for the most part, this trend is so explosive. It's so explosive at this point. If I want to go all in, I want to put all my money into this trend because the opportunity is insane. Do you want to know what the 7th trend is? I hope you're paying attention. It's you. You are the hottest thing going right now. You paying attention to this training, doing the things you're doing, knowing that it's right to serve the customer, running a business by design makes you the hottest trend. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks for watching. If you love what you're seeing here, then click the button below to join our online community absolutely free. Thanks so much.